question. You made a revelation a couple of weeks ago or so, and so my question for you is, what is it like to write your novel around yourself and not even know that you're doing it?
Well, basically, it was a bit of a shock to me because I hadn't realized that I had put so much of myself into a specific character. And I don't know, I guess you think, like I said in the video, you think that certain things that you write down come from your imagination or come from some parts of you, but when I realized that I had put a lot of me into somebody else, it kind of knocked me on my feet a little bit. It really made me sit back and think, and it in a way it kind of helped me. I don't want to say heal from my past, but in a way it did, So I don't it's kind of hard to explain, but I guess we've all had trials and tribulations in our lives that we've tried to either forget or overcome, or wish we could, go back. Like I've often said to myself, I wish me now was the me 20 years ago. I think my life and experiences with school and people would have been so different than it was then. So it was a real wake up and like smack on the face to realize that. I guess, yeah.
And that's pretty cool too, because Cross Your Heart is a mystery and suspense novel, and you would think that there wouldn't necessarily be a message, you know what I mean? Because it's about, it's about the mystery, it's about the characters and solving the puzzle, that kind of thing. And so then to say that you found a message inside of it, and you wrote the book, how long ago, Lauren?
I wrote it. I first started about 9 years ago, and I finished it to publication in 2015. So I published it last year.
Okay, so we've all been reading it for the last year, and you've been reading it and mulling it over in your mind for the last 9-10 years, and just 2 weeks ago you find something new inside of it, a message inside of it. I think that that's pretty cool. Now, Deborah, you actually write action and suspense, but you made a bit of a change, and you wrote a dramatic novel that's really a family drama kind of thing, Daisies in the Rain. And you knew that your book was going to have a message in it.
Yes. I don't think I realized how big of a message it was going to have. I know that I wanted it to have a big impact, especially for the young lady that I was writing it for. I had absolutely no idea that it was going to become something that was so much bigger than just the two of us and just doing it for her. And well, like Robin said, like crying while you're writing, oh, perfectly normal. I can't tell you how many boxes of Kleenex I went through writing Daisies in the Rain. I probably should have bought stock in the company. And everyone that has told me that they've read it has said that they've loved it, that they couldn't put it down, that it touched their life in some way, even if it was in a way that I wasn't really expecting. And to know that I created something that is helping people and that is touching people's lives has it's meant a lot to me.
Great. And you've done a lot of work promoting Daisies in the Rain, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. Live events, some I don't even know about until they're happening, which is like absolutely fabulous. Like I can't keep up with you guys anymore. Tell me what that's been like, Deborah, to go from behind the computer to face with audiences.
Terrifying. I am actually a very shy person. I've gotten over that a lot, but as a child I was just painfully shy, and I've had to come out of that a lot. And honestly, I appreciate the Authory Club a lot because it has helped me to move past a lot of that shyness and to be able to meet the people who have read my book and that it's touched and that type of thing has just been an incredible experience, and learning how to kind of come out of my shell and to talk about it and to talk to them and is just, it's incredible. And I think one of the best experiences I've had was actually talking to a group of sixth graders, of kids, where the message is like, it's one for everybody, for adults and for young adults, but especially at that age group where life is just so uncertain and so emotional and all of that, to be able to sit down and to talk with them face to face and to see their reactions and to see their interest and to see their little minds working as we're talking about the message and everything. It's, yeah, more than I could have asked for.
That's great. Well, I'm very happy for you. I'm also very proud of you.
Thanks.
Jerome, now, in terms of how you reach out to the public about Pothole, and there's one other book, isn't there, Jerome?
In the works.
Okay, great. Okay. So you do something that, of course, the Authory Club finds absolutely fascinating because it's a video, and that's what we're about, video and live events. But you are very good at creating videos around Pothole, and we've all seen some of them. Always got to have some buzz. We've all seen some of those videos, Jerome. Oh, let's see. Okay, so we just lost Jill, but she'll come back in. So we've seen some of those videos, Jerome. Tell us, how do you cross over from those words that are on that page to being able to put it into video?
So I guess that was just an idea. I think what I want to become from all this writing that I've been getting more involved with is writing a movie. So I bought the Screenwriter's Bible, and I just want to get into movie making, and if I can get any of the stories that I've written into a movie, that would be awesome. So I'm actually just practicing being creative, just seeing what I can do with film or video, and seeing how far I can go with that as well. So keeping my plate full.
That is pretty good, and that's a really good tip. I never even thought about something like that, but that's an awfully good tip, huh? Thank you, thank you for that. That is very interesting. Tell us. Wow, I never would have thought about that. It's kind of that thing, being where you're trying to go. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, go on, Jerome. I'm sorry.
No, it was breaking up, so I don't know if I caught everything. So.
Oh no. I said that's very interesting. That that you want your books to become movies, and so in addition to writing them as novels, you also have in your eye, turning them into the movies. And so it's the kind of thing where it's like you're a harbinger of your own vision.
Well, because I'm not an experienced writer, very novice, my approach to writing all my books or the books that I am writing is what I do know, and that's, I get excited when I watch a good movie, and I learn how the plot is and how the characters should be, and that's how I write my books. I don't even read, honestly, so it's something that when I wrote it, I thought, well, how would somebody want to visualize it in their mind? And I figured to go at it with the movie approach, kind of. So.
That's pretty cool. I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so great. I hope a lot of authors hear this. Jill. Jill, tell us, what is the most personal aspect of The Keeper's life for you?
Oh, goodness.
I know, I'm sorry.
I know, it's a tough one. I would have to say the relationship between, like, not necessarily family, but people that have been with you, so they're like family, from when you were a child, and just having how the relationships can build and then they can change. And I think it's difficult sometimes for, especially like a parent-child relationship, how you get, like, it changes as they get older, and you kind of have to let go more. And in the book, Elizabeth, the main character, she's raised by her uncles, and as she's approaching her quest that she has to do, they have to learn to let go the little girl that they've raised. And I kind of see a lot of pain in that, because like, thinking about my children, that would be really difficult, especially right now. But to see it as I write their perspective, it's been definitely a difficult prospect to venture into, of letting go a child so that they can, even though there's going to be hurt and pain and suffering, but you got to let them do what they're going to do. You got to let them make those choices. So
that's really interesting, because Deborah has a similar theme in Daisies in the Rain. Interesting, yes, Deborah?
Yeah. Very much.
Robin? How do you go from a redneck wedding to a tragedy? Not just a drama, to a tragedy. How do you do that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm full of emotions anyway. Redneck Wedding was just something goofy. It was just a goofy book that I wanted to write. So I did, and then and you know what that's based off of, and you can't put that on your website because there's family members involved. I changed their names, but and stuff. So, and then with A Turquoise Sunrise Tragedy, one of my dear friends just it was a bet. She just goes, can you write anything sad? She goes, you're one of the most positive people I know. Can you write anything sad? And so that was just a bet, and 200 some pages later, I did it. And one of my best friends, she's very stoic. She doesn't cry. We were at her mom's funeral, and she was not crying. That's just how she is. And then so one of the best compliments I got was when she called me after she had completed the book. She had finished reading it, and she was sobbing. And I know that sounds like kind of strange, like, really, that's a compliment? And it actually was. So I was like, yes, I made her cry. So then it was actually unbelievable that I could write a book to bring out so many different emotions. I was actually kind of surprised, because normally I'm a very, very positive person, and it's kind of neat just in this chat room right now, this Google Hangout, just how many of you that I can relate to, so that's just been, this is just a very, very nice conversation to have and stuff. So it was actually very easy for me to go from A Redneck Wedding to, which is kind of a fun little thing to write, to something a little more serious. So it was fun. It was kind of an eye-opener for me, actually.
Are there love stories in a Turquoise Sunrise Tragedy?
Yeah,
Like in
there is.
all novels?
Yeah, there is a little. Yeah, a little bit, and of course I'm completely biased, but some of the characters are just fun, you know, because you can relate to a lot of the different characters and stuff. So that's what I like, because I was at work the other day, and again, kind of putting myself out there, and so some of my colleagues have been reading my book, and they're just, and some of them are laughing. One of them decided not to speak to me for about an hour because she was upset about the book, and then the other one was at a different part, so she was laughing and stuff. So it's neat to get everyone's reaction about it and stuff. So it's been a really a pleasurable experience, and I'll write a more dramatic book in the future. So I enjoyed it.
Great. Will you do another serious novel?
Yes, absolutely. I'll have the Kleenex handy. So Deborah, thank you for telling me that that's normal. So I will keep them. I'll keep them handy and kind of cry my way through it. So yeah, it was a very enjoyable experience.
Jill, what's been the reaction from your family and friends?
Pretty good. They are very excited for the next book. My dad's been very happy and very encouraging, which I'm trying not to read too much into because he's my dad and he's supposed to say those things. So, but yeah, most of everyone in my family, like extended family, has read it and has enjoyed it, and it's very uplifting and encouraging and makes me want to write more. And so it's been pretty awesome. It's been a great experience. And that was the hard part, is like handing it over, saying, hey, Dad, Mom, can you read this? And my mom's really picky about the books that she reads, and it took her forever to read it. And when she did, she was very excited. I have not gotten my husband to read it yet, though. I'm working on it. He's not a reader, so... But I think he would like it if I could get him to sit down for 5 seconds.
Jerome is shaking his head. He understands that. He understands. Maybe Jerome can help you put it to video.
Yeah, there we go. Yes, my husband would watch it for sure.
Great. Now I have a question for you. We're going to start wrapping up, but see what I mean? We could do this for another hour or so. Tell me, let's start with you, Deborah. Tell me about the pressure that comes on after you publish.
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, it just, because not only, I mean, you're trying to get it out there, and and then of course there's well, is the audience going to like it? As you know, how is it going to be received, and that. But then it's also the pressure of, well, if they do like it, now you've got a standard, and you've got to meet that or exceed it. And now they're also waiting. They're waiting for the next one to come out. So if your life just got busy, if something else happened over here, and you don't have time to write for 3 months or whatever it might be, then you're starting to sweat because you've got these people over here who are, you know, like waiting for something to come out and that type of thing. But I mean, I was honestly just talking to my husband about it, and I said it's just like, it's very nerve-wracking almost, because it's like the response I'm getting from Daisy's, I've got to meet that again or exceed it somehow. And even though Daisy's came very naturally for me, and if I get the right storyline, I'm sure it'll come naturally again, it's just very kind of nerve-wracking thinking about it. You kind of have to turn your mind off to it, honestly, because it's like writing is something that you're doing because you love it, and it's a part of you, and it's a part of your soul, really, and you're doing it ultimately for yourself. And so there's a part of me that just has to turn my mind off to everyone else and just do what in my heart I know is right.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And Lauren, I know you feel the pressure because it comes from me.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's basically the same with Deborah. You know, in addition to having the book online, I do sell copies out of my office where I work at. And unfortunately, these people come like every 2 or 3 weeks or so, so I'm always getting, so when's the next book coming out? When's the next book? I'm like, I'm working on it, people. I'm working on it. You got to give me some time. I am here 12 hours a day, So it's hard. And like I was telling you and Deb our last video, I don't know. I think because I sat with Cross Your Heart for so long, it kind of flowed a little easier. It was easier to figure out, okay, this is the next chapter, or this is the next scene, and this is how it's going to end. But with this one, it seems like it's taking forever, and it's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, it's coming. I'm 17 chapters in, thank God, but I'm like, okay, so what's the next chapter? It's just such night and day from Cross Your Heart. So, and I think I put pressure. I'm the type of person, I put pressure on myself, and I think it's unneeded pressure, unnecessary pressure. But I don't know. It's like I want to do better with the second book I'm working on, and I don't want to rush it, and I don't want to force it. So I'm just trying to, if I write an hour a day, that's good. But it's just about, trying to get through that block of me. I am standing in my way a lot of the times with the pressure. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta get it. You gotta get it. And I'm like, calm down. It's only been a year since the last one. Give yourself a break. It'll come. It'll come. So I just gotta get to that it'll come phase. So that's my whole point.
Yeah. And you do have an awfully busy life outside of writing, and so 12 hours a day is no joke. That's called being exhausted when you get home. And Robin knows something about that because she is a mom to some gorgeous boys, and that is plural. And she has a full-time job plus other things that she does, so I understand it. But I want to tell you, Lauren, and not to add to the pressure, but I got to read the first few pages when you first started, and right. I'm waiting to see what happens to the little boy. he stays with me because of how you write. You write so well. You write like a crime reporter. And how many times have I said it?
A lot.
Yeah. Jill?
Yes.
Tell me, what is one of the most surprising things that a reader will find in your book?
I think there's definitely a conspiracy that is happening in the background of the book. A lot of people look at it and they just think it's straight fantasy, straight action fantasy, nothing really. But there's a lot of background things happening that they have to kind of piece together, and a lot of people didn't expect that at all. So I have to kind of build on it because there's an expectation now. So yeah, that one even kind of surprised me because I didn't even realize it was happening until I had this character I was writing, and he's not the main villain, but he's definitely a villain. And as I'm writing him, I'm realizing he's got deeper roots in the story than I even thought he did. So yeah, surprised me too.
I find that fascinating about writing and then about being a reader. You all go on the journey while you're writing it, and then once it's done and published, the reader goes on the journey. Like, how else does that happen except for in the artistic world? It's the same thing with paintings. It's the same thing with music. But that's what it is. Tell me about that, Jerome. You didn't hear me, Jerome. He can't hear me.
I don't think he
Okay.
heard.
No, I couldn't hear you, but I do now.
Okay. All right. So what I was saying is, well, I asked Jill what was one of the most surprising things that a reader will find in her book, and I said that what fascinates me about books is that, you know, from start to finish, is that the author, you all go on the journey while you're writing it, and then once it's published, the reader goes on the journey.
Right.
Tell me about that. And you know, and how that's a part of the artistic world. It happens with paintings, it happens with music, it happens with movies.
Yeah. Well, as a illustrator myself and into the arts, this and painting, you definitely have to tell a story, and it's the process that if people can dial into the process of you know, like in the painting, why is this stroke this way, and how many times did the painter put these many strokes in these certain places and come up with this beautiful picture? Why? You know, so you have to investigate beyond the words in the book, and if you can relay that, that just makes, you know, the writing that much more special. And so I think if people can see beyond that, and like, because when you go to a museum and you see a painting, and you're like, oh, that's a nice painting, but when you dial into it and find out, you know, history and the reason why this is that and everything, it just becomes that much more greater. Just like music, you know, and poetry, like, why are these words, you know, lined up after each other, and then you find out that, oh, what he or she is talking about is this, and this is the true meaning behind that. So that's what it, you know, just makes the writing that much more fascinating, and that's what I'm trying to do in my in the next book, the prequel. As a fresh sophomore, I guess, sophomore writer, I've learned a lot that I know that there has to be a lot more meaning, a lot more depth in your writing, and that's what I want to be able to send out. I want to be not too basic. I want the reader to actually possibly stop a couple times and say, wait, what did you just say? Or what does this mean? So there should be layers.
Yeah, that's an awesome way. That's an awesome way to put it, Jerome. That's a really awesome way to put it. Yeah, layers and the why. Yeah, the why is very important. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to stop there because I had a whole another question ready about the why. We'll stop there, else we will be going for the next hour. Oh my!
Love your questions.
Shoot! Ooh! But okay, I'm gonna ask. Because the question in my mind is, at what point do you all find yourselves chasing the why? Deborah, quick answer. Please.
Why can you go to someone else first? Oh my gosh. At what point in the process do we find ourselves chasing the why?
Yeah.
Like the whole way through. Pretty much. I mean, I'm not sure if there's any specific point. It's almost like you're chasing the story, you're chasing everything like the whole way through. It's like I've always made the comment, stories take on a life of their own, and they just run away, and you're chasing everything after that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you. Robin, what point did you find yourself chasing the why? Or have you found yourself chasing it yet?
No, one of the greatest pleasures in life is publishing a book. When I get my book published and it's out there, I am absolutely thrilled. So it's that feeling, I guess, that I get from completing a project. I guess it's something that I set out to do. I did it, and if people like it, that's wonderful. If not, oh well, because I'm going to keep writing. So there's nothing better than publishing a book.
Great. Jill?
Well, I think why is, like Deborah said, it's throughout the entire process that you're writing. Because, like, even when you're writing a scene, why am I writing this scene? What's the purpose? Is it going to further the story? And then not only that, when you sit down in front of the computer to start writing for your day, why am I doing this? Like, you have to have that why, because I think it motivates not only you personally, but it motivates the story to move along. So the why is important.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Thank you, Jill. Lauren?
Yeah, I agree with Jill and Deb. I mean, I chase the why, like, from well, for me it was funny because I had actually wrote the prologue and the epilogue first. So I wrote the beginning and I wrote the end, and I had to fill in the middle. So the whole part of me filling in the middle was me chasing why did I write the epilogue the way that I did. So that like every chapter I was like, okay, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why? So my whole doggone book was the why.
That's smart.
I chased the why all the way to the end. So yeah.
That is so amazing. See, right there. We have talked so many times. I mean, we have spent hours talking about you and your writing and Cross Your Heart. And here is something else new.
Well, I told you that I wrote backwards. I said I was a backwards writer. I said I wrote the beginning, and then I wrote like the end and part of the middle, and I had to go in and fill in the blank. So yeah, I told you that before.
Okay, well then I just heard it. I just heard it because I guess I'm chasing the why.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Wow, that is okay. All right, baby. Okay.
Prime example. I'm gonna leave you with this note, and then I won't say anything else. Prime example: the book that I'm writing now, right? I wrote out the first 15 chapters. The 2 chapters that I have written, the 16th and the 17th chapter, I don't know where I'm putting them, but I know they're written. So I just gotta find a spot to put them in. So there you go. Listen, it's like me and Jill. It runs through my head. It won't stop until I write it down. So if I write it down, it'll go away, and then something else will play. So that's how I do it.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. Can't wait for it. I am excited.
You'll be the first to get it.
Okay, guys. All right. You guys are all awesome. I am so glad that you all are part of our first trek into BookCon. Thank you so very much. And yeah. And instead of me giving your names and your books again and where to find your books, I'm going to let you guys do it. So we're just going to go one by one. Just tell us who you are one more time. Remind us of what you've written, and let us know where we can buy it. Okay? And let's start with Jill.
My book is The Keeper's Light under Angelica Navarro. It is on sale on Amazon. So yeah.
Perfect. And Lauren.
I'm Lauren Thomas. My title is Cross Your Heart. Second one to be yet determined. You can get it on Amazon, Smashwords, and Barnes & Noble.
Great. Robin.
Hi, my name is Robin Anderson, and this is my newest release, A Turquoise Sunrise Tragedy, and you can find me on Amazon with some of my other books. So thank you.
Perfect. And Jerome?
Hi, my name is Jerome Gonzalez, and I want to say thank you to you, Gwen, and all of you, Lauren, Jill and Deborah. My book is Pothole, and you can find it on Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, Google Play, and iTunes, and your local barbershop, or my local barbershop.
That's right, like Elin Harris. That's right. And Deborah, D.A. Reed.
Yes, I am Deborah Reed. I write under D.A. Reed, and I've written Daisies in the Rain and Web of Deceit, as well as a few other books that you can find all on Amazon and also Lulu.com.
Okay, great. All right, wonderful. You guys, oh my God, you guys are so brilliant.